So let's get into who we're going to add this week. Each person, if you're a first-time listener, will bring one future to the table, make their case, and then we'll all vote at the same time. And if everyone votes for everyone else's, then I will break the tie. Mike, let me throw it to you first. Who you bringing to the table this week?
So looking through the board, my mindset was I want a team that is at least elite in one thing that I consider to be important. And that's why I'm going to go with Marquette. They're still at 40-1 out in the market. They're 10-2 in their last 12 games. They're fourth in offensive efficiency in KenPom, 60th in defense. I understand that we talk about this at length leading up to March Madness, that you generally want to have that combination between your offensive and defensive ranking in KenPom, certainly sub 50. But in terms of what they're able to do, their shooting efficiency, they're second nationally. Assist to turnover ratio, fourth. Yes, they can't rebound. They're deep in the 200s and all the main metrics on the boards. That's going to hurt them. They do make up for it in turnover margin, though. They protect the basketball, and Shaka Smart's system, they're usually about +5 in the turnover margin on a nightly basis. They have 5 players who average double digits, which I really like, because when you look at, having to win 6 games or even really 4 games to get to the Final Four, you're not going to be able to necessarily rely on 1 or 2 guys. It's got to be a team effort, and they can do that. My obvious concern is Shaka Smart. 6 first-round exits from the NCAA tournament. How long are we going to be able to hang our hat on the fact that he took, VCU all the way to the Final Four? Is he a tournament coach? Can he put it together? Now, some of them you can look back, at Texas, I think it was Northern Iowa, hits a half-court shot, and some of it's been bad luck. But that certainly is the front of my mind. But at 40-1, I'm willing to roll the dice, and I think it's actually a nice addition at the right time to our overall portfolio.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about the defense a bit, and particularly what they allow in the offensive glass. If they don't turn you over, there's definitely some issues on that defense. But I mean, they've obviously exceeded all of my expectations here, and they seem to be a really cohesive team, and they're not too dependent on one person. Everyone kind of knows their role. And Kolek is just a great facilitator, and they just have a lot of players who can, get you 15 to 20 on a given night, which I like. They're not too reliant on any one team. They just run great offense. I mean, number 4 in adjusted offensive efficiency, number 1 in 2-point percentage offense. BJ, who you bring to the table?
I think we should have maybe called our friend Colin Wilson for this one, because I'm going to go Arkansas at 55-1. The biggest thing with this is that they're going to be getting their star freshman, Nick Smith, back here. I think he started practicing this week. And if you look at their schedule upcoming, it's actually quite easy. I mean, they're going to get Mississippi State at home. They go to Texas A&M, at home against Florida, at home against Georgia. And they got 2 huge games on the road back-to-back against Alabama and Tennessee. Bracket Matrix has them as a 9 seed right now. If they win 4 straight here, they're probably going to be higher on the seed line here. Really, really good defensive team. They're 12th in defensive efficiency. They're very good at defending both the 3-point line and inside, a team that can attack the rim at a very, very elite level. So getting one of your best offensive threats, because it is a small sample size and he only did play in 5 games. But when he was on the floor, Nick Smith was their highest percentage shot guy. I mean, he was shooting 32% of the time, higher than anybody else. So you're getting your offensive threat back when you already have a really, really good defense. So at 55-1, I think the time is now to buy on Colin Wilson's Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah, I think this would be the time to do it, because it was reported that Smith is going to come back and he's practicing. My only issue with Arkansas is that they can't shoot. And like, Nick Smith is the, first round draft pick and a hell of a player. He's gonna be a huge addition, but he's not some flamethrower from the outside. He's still gonna be a mid-range guy. And they're going to run into a team in the half court that's just going to zone them, and they're going to shoot. Are they going to shoot their way out of the tournament? They're 8th percentile in zone offense on the year. They're 31% from 3 on the year. That's 315th in the country. So I really worry about that. But this is a team that has been, after slow starts in conference play, they've been to back-to-back Elite Eights. So the experience
and it's 55-1. That's my main argument, is that I don't think we're going to be 55-1 come tournament time.
All right, I have 2. I was gonna, if you guys used one, then I was gonna go with the other. So I had a backup. So do you want hold up one if you want a something sub 50 to 1, or a 2 if you want 100 to 1?
Only if the 100 to 1 is Iowa.
All right, we got 2 2s. All right, this will be a case for a long shot, which, you know, ideally 100 to 1, you want them to get to the Final Four. And again, I just don't think that there's any elite teams. Like, who are the projected 1 seeds right now? Like, per bracket matrix, it's Purdue, Houston, Kansas, and Alabama. Like, it's one of the weakest 1 seeds. And then, you know, the 2s, you're Tennessee, Texas, UCLA, and Arizona. Your 3s, Baylor, Iowa State, Xavier, and Virginia. Like, the top, like, it is. I know we keep having it home, but it is so wide open. So let's go with San Diego State 100 to 1. I think, you know, one of my problems with San Diego State, now I believe in the Mountain West this year, which is part of this, but I think that they're one of the 15. They're right around, if you add up their adjusted offensive and defensive efficiency, right around, you got to be, you know, around 50. They're right there with the cutoff. And I think by the end of the year, their offense will be a little bit better and they'll get there. But this is a team that is as experienced as any in the country. They're extremely well coached. Brian Dutcher is one of the best game planners in the entire country. So, which I think that they'll fare well on a tournament setting. The one thing I don't like about them is that they are very reliant on Matt Bradley. You know, he takes a ton of their shots, and when he's hot, he is scorching hot. When he's off, he can shoot them out of a game. But at 100 to 1, that's something you like, right? You like that variance of Bradley just catching fire in a tournament setting. You know, especially like Elite 8, Sweet 16 weekend. He gets in a gym and is just feeling it for 2 games with their defense and offense overall and coaching. Could shoot them right to the Final Four. So this is a team that, you know, they got UNLV at home now, then Fresno, Colorado State. They're at New Mexico, at Boise, home against Wyoming. So the Mountain West, I believe in. I think that they're probably going to win their next 3. So this might come down. You know, then they're at New Mexico, who they have revenge against. And then they play a Boise State team I think they match up pretty well with, and they're home against the Wyoming Corps. So I think that this is probably the right time to buy it. I think this is one of the best 15 to 20 teams in the country. And they don't have you know, the teams that I'm writing off that are in this mix of the top 20 teams are the teams that I have like a glaring flaw. For example, Iowa State, like I don't believe in their offense. They're going to turn it over too much, and they just go through way too many droughts. You know, take Tennessee, it's their offense as well. I don't think San Diego State has a glaring issue that's going to prevent them. You know, they're solid on both ends of the floor. So that's my case for the long shot. So let's hold up. You're going to hold up 1 for Marquette, 2 for Arkansas, and 3 for San Diego State. Can't vote for your own. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, Marquette it is. I've never been happier.
I also, by the way, had Marquette as well, like written down and notes for it. So I think all of
Colin doesn't win.
Maybe we can have him on next week and he can make his
No,
case.
we already told Colin Arkansas has no chance of winning it all. We were on the record of all. I think, Mike, I said I don't want to tell him. Someone else to tell him. So we're already on the record to say that. So we cannot add Arkansas. So we're going with Marquette 35 to 1. And to go with Indiana, TCU, and UConn. What is it? February 9th. I think we're gonna probably end up with February 9th, 16th, 23rd. We'll probably end up with 6 until we get into maybe there'll be some conference futures out there, and hopefully we can hit one of these and maybe, you know, profit on another.